Hello guys and welcome. My screen, there we go. Okay, I was having a hard time loading, but hello and welcome to this Thursday of online learning in our online science classroom. I hope you guys have been doing super well and you guys have been staying healthy and safe. Um, and yeah, this is almost the end of our second week before school ends, our penultimate week before school ends. So we finish this week, then we finish next week, and that's it. We're done. I'm trying to organize a Zoom meeting in which we would all do a Kahoot, a goodbye Kahoot, a last game Kahoot. So be on the lookout for that. I'll give you more information about that later. All right. For now, I hope everyone is doing well. Have a good and sweet Thursday, and let's go ahead and begin. So, we've been talking about the giant Asian hornets, a very interesting topic, something that we have to be aware of because it could affect our lives in the United States, and we talked about how it could affect them. So, yesterday I asked you a question, better yet, two questions. Come up two come up with two ways in which we could help our honeybees with this whole giant Asian hornet thing, right? And a lot of you came up with some really good inventions. Some of you thought of a a mesh fence around the beehives, a fence that was, small enough that big enough for the bees to be able to leave and come back so it can get nectar for their honey, but also small enough so that giant hornets cannot get into it. I thought that was a pretty good idea. If we put those around our beehives, then the giant hornets cannot be able to get into it. It would have to be made out of wire because those pincers are really strong. But that is a great idea. A lot of you also pointed out that maybe we should have a bee sanctuary. Maybe we should get all the bees that we can and put them in a very safe place away from the giant hornets. And I thought that was a really good idea as well. There are bee sanctuaries around the country, and we could do that for our bees as well. And finally, there was also the idea of developing a poison or an insecticide that only kills giant Asian hornets, but not honeybees. So we can probably put this poison around the honeybees in like their nest or in their hives, so that when the Asian giant hornets approach, they get killed by the poison, but nothing happens to the honeybees. So that was also another really, really good idea. Thank you all for sharing your ideas. They were magnificent. So now let's talk about what the experts are doing. So yeah, these are all great ideas. Thank you for sharing. Now here's what the experts are doing. Let's go ahead and watch a video that's going to supplement our learning. It's going to show us what some experts are doing in Washington State in order to fight this Asian giant hornet population. I'm going to send you the link to this video in another message through your GroupMe. So at this point, pause this video and then go to your other video, watch it, and after you're done, come back to me. All right, pause it in 3, 2, 1, pause. All right, guys, thank you for coming back to me. I'm assuming you're already done with watching the other video. So if you saw the other video, you saw what these experts are trying to do. So they're setting up traps. In this trap, they put a very sweet liquid that resembles honey. They don't actually put honey, but they put something that's a little more liquid and a little more sweet so that the Asian giant hornets get attracted to it. Once they are attracted to it, then the hornets get trapped in there. They get trapped in there and some die, some don't die. So what these experts are hoping is that they're hoping that a Asian giant hornet queen gets trapped in one of these traps. If they trap one of them, then there won't be any more Asian giant hornets, at least in one part of the population, because these bees can lay up to 1,000 to 2,500 eggs. So if we get a queen, that would be great. But queens don't leave their beehive a lot, so that is not necessarily the best way is to just hope for a bee to show, for a queen hornet to show up, right? So the other thing that they're doing is that they're trapping these giant Asian hornets, and then after trapping them, they are gonna let them go, and they're gonna very carefully follow that Asian hornet until we get to a giant Asian hornet nest. And this is a giant Asian hornet nest. As you can see, it is huge. As you can see, all of these are eggs that could hatch into giant hornets of their own. Um, I don't know if you guys have this. I know my wife definitely does. She can't see something that has a lot of little holes. It grosses her out intensely. I look at it and it's kind of gross, but I can see it. But my wife just cannot deal with that. So if you're one of these people that can't deal with that, I am really, really sorry. But the idea is to find this hornet nest and then to just eliminate it. To either spray it with pesticide so that every giant hornet inside of it dies. Or I've seen some videos of some people who just go up with like a blowtorch or a torch and then they burn the whole nest, ensuring that everything in there dies. The whole thing about using fire is it's a little risky because, of course, these are by trees and by other vegetation. So you're trying to burn down the nest. You may actually even cause a little forest fire if you're not careful. So that's where maybe insecticide would be the best thing. But there was a story of a man who found a nest, and then at night he put on really thick sweatpants. He put on his bee suit. He put on jackets and all this protective gear. And then at night he started going towards the nest with his flashlight. But apparently the flashlight and the movement of all the bushes woke up the hornets. The hornets woke up and then they attacked the man. The man was able to destroy the nest with insecticide, but he did get stung in his legs multiple times. The man is okay. He did not die. His legs did get swollen for like a week, but after that he was okay. But he did say it was the most painful sting he's ever received. And this man had been working with bees and with wasps and with every type of bee that you can think of. So these things are very painful. Because of that, well, before we get to that, so far these hornets have only been found in the state of Washington. And hopefully we can deal with them before they spread to other states, because that would be a big problem. Right now they're only in this state and we're trying to get rid of them before they start moving down to other states like California, like Texas, like Florida. They could move out there and it's not something that we definitely want. So that's what experts are trying to do to get rid of all these hornets. Now, remember, if you see one that is alive, then you need to keep very still. You shouldn't move. The reason for it is that although you could be seriously injured by their sting, some people are allergic to it and have died from a giant Asian hornet sting. So if you see one that's alive, you have to be very, very still. However, what happens if you find one that is dead? Well, that is a good question. And this is what you need to do. If you go outside and you find one that is dead, go grab an adult, someone that is older. Make sure you are sure that it's dead. One very good way to make sure that it's dead is get a bucket of water and from a distance, drop the water on the from a distance, like from far, drop it. If it doesn't react, it's already dead. If it's still alive, it is going to flutter against the water, but at least the water is going to keep it down for a bit so you can run back inside and not be, stung by it. So if it is dead, then with your adult person there with you, you need to take a really good picture of it. Don't pick it up. Really good picture of it. And you need to call the Texas Park and Wildlife Office. They will come down to your house, they will check it, they will see if it is actually a giant Asian hornet or not. And this helps them figure out if the giant Asian hornet has spread to other parts of the country. This is really big because we need to make sure that it stays contained in Seattle. I'm sorry, in Washington. And if it doesn't stay contained in Washington, and if it's moved to other parts of the country, then we need to rethink our whole strategy. So if you find one, that's what you need to do. However, odds are that they're just not yet in Texas. It would take them a while to get to Texas. But just in case, here's the info that you need. These are the phone numbers of different people that you can call. They all work for the Texas Parks and Wildlife office, and you can definitely give them a call and let them know, like, hey, I think I found a giant Asian wasp. Can I send you the picture to see if it's one? Um, Also, please don't waste their time. Don't just start taking random pictures of things and then tell them that you think it's the Asian giant wasp. They're busy doing other things. But if you definitely see one, definitely let them know. Okay? So, what are we going to do today? I need you to answer 3 questions based on our presentation from today. Number 1, what are experts trying to do to deal with the giant Asian hornet? Number 2, what should we do if we see a giant Asian hornet that is alive? Number 3, what should we do if we see a giant Asian hornet that is dead? 3 questions. Write the answers down in a blank sheet of paper. Take a picture of that paper and send it over to me. All right. Thank you so much for your time, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow you will have a weekly check on this, so make sure you come ready with your facts about the giant Asian hornet because you will need them. Thank you, and have a great rest of your Thursday.